Has it ended? Culture being sold to its highest bidder. Undesirable neighborhoods being gentrified. You would be bitter too, if only you knew. Has it ended? Crossing racial lines and stealing lives, robbing my people blind, white people marginalizing, modern day colonizing, aestheticizing. Has it ended? The rich people running things, leaving us with nothing. Urban pioneers they call themselves. But is their work for us or themselves? Has it ended? The same shit Kincaid wrote about. 12 minutes, 12 days, distorting our realities with your corrupt government ways. Do not put us on display. You romanticize our poverty. We are not your toys. And when it all comes down to it, this is our reality and your profit. Has it ended?
Gentrification is not just a real estate concept. It's a deeper process of urban restructuring, a part of a much larger endeavor, the class remake of the central urban landscape.
I feel like gentrification could be a positive. When you have different types of people living together, could be advantages in that because they can learn from each other and network and have different points of views.
When a lot of people move in, all that culture is taken out because they buy up the small businesses and they don't get to see that culture. So basically like they just integrate and they live there and they just take it over. But the culture that was once there is gone.
Yeah.
There's a difference between intersectionality and steamrolling an entire group of people.
Good points.
It's aimed at reconstructing and re-imaging the inner cities.
Gentrification is visible by construction of residential buildings. If this trend continues, the local inhabitants will be lost.
There is a danger that the uniqueness of these districts will not be maintained.
You took things that were not yours. You murdered people. You imprisoned people. You robbed people. You opened your own banks and you put our money in them.
In gentrified cities, suburbia is forced upon urban people without their willing consent.
Communities like Leimert Park are no longer theirs.
Homes and cultures are torn down in order to make room for the white picket fence.
Monique, nice to meet you. The idea is to bring a community-owned, organic grocery store to the neighborhood. I've only lived in the neighborhood for about 11 years, but in the course of those 11 years, they've only taken away grocery stores. They haven't put any new ones in. A lot of people in the community are suffering from health-related disease. As a community, we're bringing all of our money outside of the community to shop. If we can, some people can't leave the community and have to, shop at the 7-Eleven or, and just buy food that's terrible for them.
How has gentrification affected your community?
Well, with the metro specifically, it's going to raise the price, the rent for a lot of these black-owned businesses. So they're going to bring in businesses like Starbucks and Subway, and that's going to raise property value, and it's going to have to push out business owners, black business owners. So a lot of this that you see here is going to get pushed away. Already, I see this art gallery. It's black-owned, but the person is kind of in charge over that black owner is a white man, and he's kind of overseeing what's happening. I already see that took out 2 businesses already. This whole hub and center of African culture, it's going to disappear, and I feel like that's going to take a part of me and what I grew up with away.
The current population for the black community is on the left. The white population is on the right. The 3-year projection for the black community is on the left. The one for the white community is on the right.
Gentrification is a displacement method.
How long have you been in this community?
about 20 years.
So what do you value most about Leimert Park community?
Art,
The art.
people, the music, everything about it. Everything about it is culture.
How has gentrification affected your community?
It's just the construction alone. Stopped my business for almost 2 years, and that's why I closed my business. And it's affecting is like everybody that I know that had a business around here is gone. I'm one of the last ones.
And you said that's because of the construction in the area?
Because of the construction, because of people moving in and other people moving in, and people buying property like instead of one is gone, somebody's buying, and it's not people from us. It's like other people coming in.
It has contributed to housing prices in the city as a whole.
Gentrification has affected our community through housing, educational, and our civil rights, and as a people, it's put us in a position to, how can you say, the other people that's coming in here is trying to make us subservient to their rule. So that's how it hurts us.
But it's just supposed to be diversity, right?
Those who initiate the process of gentrification are looked upon as urban pioneers.
According to Lorenzo Vicario and Manuel Monge, two sociology professors at the University of Basque Country, there are three main characteristics community must have in order to be gentrifiable.
First, the place must have a strategic location.
Leimert Park is close to downtown LA, and the new expo line will make it even more accessible. In Antigua, a small Caribbean island, which is a setting for Jamaica Kincaid's essay A Small Place, is seen as a tropical paradise.
The second requirement is possession of a culturally interesting environment with low housing prices.
Antigua is marketed as a place to escape, but the native people there are actually trapped in their situation.
Culture is an industry. Art and culture is a tremendous industry.
The final requirement is that a large portion of the population who lives there is vulnerable and could easily be displaced from the area.
Gentrification only exploits the city's location and abandons the people who lived there prior.
Leimert Park is still happy, alive, and refusing.
How will losing your community affect you?
Excuse me?
How will losing your community affect you?
We're not going to lose our community, number one. Okay, we standing too black, too strong.
If this area, Leimert Park, was to be gentrified, what do you think would be the most important aspect that would be lost?
You ain't going to be gentrified. So, this community has not been gentrified. There's prospects of the community gentrifying. It's different. And as I say to all people, this community is not interested in gentrification. This community is interested in people coming.
Other places aren't so lucky.
The real thing that would be lost is the history that has lasted here from the Spaniards, because that was black. Because we have an adobe up here that was started by black people in the 1700s. So we've been here throughout the whole history, which is different than every other city in America.
What do you value about your community?
One of the only urban communities that's like really connected to like the arts, that's like really flourishing. It has definitely a huge like historic base, and it's still around and it still exists today. I think that's really cool about Leimert Park.
So, sir, what do you value most about this community?
Young people like you guys. I'm very serious. We're building a coalition between some of the performance spaces in Leimert Park. And outdoors is sort of a festival that we created that introduces what we can do